Welcome back to the Chamber.Media tutorials. I'm JR Timothy, comedy genius at Chamber.Media, and I'm here with my good friend,
Frank.
We are talking to you today about what type of lights to use for your commercial.
Let's get right into it. Lights go a full gamut and spectrum of cost, ability, size.
That's what she said.
Color temperature, brightness, wattage, luminescence.
Getting technical.
We'll start very basic with it. We'll get more and more complicated.
More expensive.
More expensive is the real term.
So when you're looking at lighting, a commercial, an ad, any kind of video shoot, really the key is a large source of light. Typically when you see cheap video, it's typically because you have a very small source of light. It doesn't look natural.
Yeah.
So when general lighting, you're gonna go with kind of the biggest light source you can. Going from the absolute cheapest light source possible, natural light. You're typically not going to want to shoot in a midday sun. Typically, if you can shoot earlier in the day or later in the day, you do have everybody knows golden hour, which is very pretty. But even outside of golden hour, those early morning hours, that 9 to 11.
When the sun's at an angle, not directly above you, angle light.
Another easy tip is to try to shoot on an overcast day or a cloudy day. If you can
and why is that, Tyler?
Because clouds are just God's diffusion.
It is.
It's saying, hey, that sun's bright. Let me even it out for you.
But now let's step up. You got to go indoors now.
You got to go
not
indoors.
Outdoors.
I just kind of categorize them as Amazon lights. We've all seen them.
Oh, did you want to grab it real quick?
Yeah.
I'll hold for you.
So with your typical Amazon light, this is kind of what you've seen before, and it's basically just, there we go. Simple light bulb fixture. Some have the giant one, some you'll see in
There's
spread
4
of
bulbs.
5.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
bulbs. But basically what it's going to come down to is a big reflective box with this guy. This is that diffusion we were talking about. And the main goal with this is it's again just trying to create a bigger, softer light source.
I used to be a bona fide 10.
When you don't have something in front and you're just running an actual light bulb, all your light is just gonna come from that one single source, coming from about a fist-sized source. Yeah. But when you throw this on, all of a sudden your light source is now this big, gives us a nice even spread, looks way better. And you're typically looking at under $100, $50.
There's also the LED panels, which is what we're currently using right now. With the LED panels, you can get a little bit more into smart lights and technical things. Like, as you can see right now, we got this nice pink, purple haze outline around us. We can control that from our phone with Bluetooth. And those are just like the step up.
These can come in various sizes. Typically, they're referred to as 1x1s, which is 1 foot by 1 foot. These are great because they naturally are a bigger light source. Like I said, instead of that fist-sized light bulb, they're coming from a 1x1 square, which you can also throw diffusion on those.
Yeah. I'll just grab it for a second. Our lighting looks a little different because we just took it off the wall. As you can see, it's just 1x1 square. You can change the color temperatures on the back, on-off switch. It's got a battery thing there. Now, LED lights, the bulbs last longer. So that is a plus, less energy.
They last longer, they stay cooler, which is nice when you're shooting long hours in a little room. You also have color temperature, so you can tone them in, whether it's more of a blue daylight tone or a warmer incandescent tone, so you can match other lights. And they typically also have a dimming function. So it just gives you a lot more versatility than those Amazon just straight up light bulb lights.
I'm going to put this back.
Yes.
Now, when you go past the Amazon light packages, the things that you see, there's bigger lights now. The kind of lights that you would see on film sets.
These are the big boy lights.
Yeah.
Like we had talked about in some of our camera videos, you start hitting a point where everything gets better and better, and then you reach this kind of professional level where things start getting very expensive, and you also kind of have to have some know-how to use them. So we use a lot of different things, chimeras, Ari lights. They come in different sizes, whether it's 500, 850, 1000, 1500.
Quasars, sky panels.
There's a lot of different companies out there, a lot of different techniques, technologies used. Really, it just kind of comes down to very precise color temperature. That's what you're really paying for in high-end lights, is you're paying for accurate color temperature. So when you start mixing lots of lights, it really keeps colors true. You're also just paying for kind of the power and versatility.
Yeah.
Because with a camera, the only way to truly control how things play and the look is really to add more light to things.
Yeah.
That's how the digital sensor works. The more light you focus on things, then you can put less light other places. So really the more control you have comes from the more powerful lights that you can position where you need.
Yeah.
But again, those also come with
Yeah.
very expensive grip trucks and lots of equipment and
Lots of people. It's a very steep curve after the Amazon lights.
Yes. This is truly one of those spots where when everybody asks how much commercials cost to make, lights.
You will
and
spend
people,
so much money on lights.
Yes, lights and people to operate the lights. That's where the money goes.
Talent is almost the cheapest part.
You can easily blow $10, $15, $100,000 in lighting.
In lighting.
A day.
Give me all your money. Give it all.
So when you're looking at other lights, there's also the DIY lights too. If you don't go the Amazon route or anything like that, DIY lights. Now when you go with DIY, you can get bulbs from Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, any place that sells light bulbs. But something that you want to consider is to make sure that you get the same brand of light bulb altogether.
Yes.
Because there's something called CRI rating. Now the CRI rating goes into it's not color temperature, it's a tint. The higher the CRI number, the better the light color is in regards to green and purple. So if you do photography, you know what I mean when you change the hue or the tint of the color there. So the higher the number, 100 is perfect, okay? When you're around 90, that's typically not as good. When you get into 93, that's better. When your CRI rating is above 93, that's really good. 90 is on the cheaper end, so make sure that all of your lights are the same brand so that you can color correct in post-production later. But anything 93 and above, that'll work great for you.
Lastly, what we have is what we call modifiers. So these aren't light producing equipment, but light modifiers. So these are things like flags, silks,
Bounce.
and these are things to take your light source and be able to tweak them to your needing.
And we got an example right here. Oh, it's a big one.
Whoa.
Oh, this is called a bounce board.
No matter what your lighting equipment uses, expensive, fancy, cheap, DIY, whatever,
This isn't
modifiers are
yeah.
a great way to kind of fine tune your lighting look.
And those aren't even expensive. That's like $30. It'll help elevate your videos, especially if you're outside dealing with the sun.
If you were to get one piece of gear, I would say it's a bounce.
Get a bounce. It's easy. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and comment below. We're a full-service ad agency at Chamber.Media. And in your comments, tell us what you want to hear about next. We'll talk about ad buying. We'll talk about setting up your Google accounts. We'll talk about production, both pre, post, and during. We'll talk about how to find actors. Whatever you want to know, comment below, and we'll be making videos about it. So take this knowledge and go make something awesome. We'll see you later. Thanks again for watching.